Hello students, welcome to Horario Class 10 Physics Classroom. In the last class, we started our third chapter, that is electromagnetic induction. As an introduction, we studied how the flux linked with a solenoid and the change occurring in that circuit leads to the formation of electrical energy. As the further studying, we also discussed the two types of current. They are alternating current and direct current. Starting from that portion, we know that there is two type of current is producing by a conductor, can be produced by a conductor and a magnetic flux, and they are alternating current and direct current. For example, we also discussed why the name alternating current and why the name direct current is named. Like that, if the direction of a current changes in a correct interval of time, we can name it as alternating current. If the direction is not changing according to the time, it can be named as direct current. Okay. If you are asked to give an example for both of the direct current and alternating current, what will you do? For example, a direct current, we want to place an example for an equipment or an electrical equipment which can produce direct current. The exact or the apt example for a direct current producing electrical equipment is cell or a battery. You all know that in every household we are using different type of cells and battery. What are the importance of this cell and battery? If we are going to a shop for buying a battery or a cell, we will say give me a 9-volt battery, or we say give me a 12-volt battery, which means the cell or the battery which we are using, it can only deliver a correct or limited amount of voltage, which will be according to the rated voltage of that equipment. If we are using a 9-volt battery, it cannot give higher amount of current or voltage. It will be limited up to 9 voltage, and it is an example, perfect example for the direct current producing equipment. For example, like that, for a cell and battery for the direct current, we can also name or we can give an example for alternating current also, which is generally known as generator, You people all know that if any type of festival is happening or any type of different occasions are happening in our house, for example a marriage, we want large amount of electrical supply. During that time, we will rent a generator to our home and we will run it with the help of diesel, kerosene or petrol, and we will produce a current from that generator. So, the current which is producing from a generator is always alternating current. So, example for an equipment which is producing alternating current will be always generator. So, how the alternating current and the direct current is produced inside a generator and a cell? In the coming session, we are going to discuss how the electricity production is taking place. Okay. Now we are going to discuss how a generator is working. As we all know, in a generator, we already said we use fuels like different type of fuels. We are using like kerosene, diesel or even petrol. These fuels are used for working generator. What is the process taking inside a generator? In a generator, the mechanical energy produced by the combustion of any of this fuel is converted into electrical energy. So, for your remind, in the earlier class, in the chapter 2, we discussed that when a motor is working, the electrical energy given to a motor can be converted into the mechanical energy. So, in the vice versa, we can also convert the mechanical energy to a electrical energy with the help of a equipment known as generator. So, the generator is used for the purpose or used for making electrical energy from mechanical energy. And this mechanical energy is derived from, or it is getting from the burning or the combustion of different type of fuels. In all time, it's not necessary for using different kind of fuels. In the different conditions or the different situations, we can also use various methods for producing mechanical energy. For example, we can revolve it with the help of a hand. We can revolve it and start. In the older times, there is different type of generators which are starting with the help of hand. And also you may be understanding or different type of tractors are there which is starting with the help of hand and which is known as crank starting type of equipments. Okay, we don't want to discuss all those things. Just here we want to say that with the help of a mechanical energy, we can convert or we can produce electrical energy, and the equipment is known as generator. So, how the generator is possible, or how can we use or we get the or produce this electrical energy? For that, we want to look deeper into this section. For this, I am just drawing a schematic diagram of generator. In the schematic diagram, as it is given in your textbook, it's a rough schematic diagram. So people all listen to this portion. It's a very important portion. So I placed a field magnet. The important thing is this is field magnet, not a permanent magnet. So what is the difference between field magnet and the permanent magnet? The permanent magnet means the magnet which can give us continuous magnetic power or magnetism is known as permanent magnet. The magnetism is not going anywhere. It will be always inside the magnet. But according to this field magnet, the field magnet is inducing the magnetic power only the time when we want to get a output. So this field magnet is placed here. When we are starting this generator, this magnet will play the role of a field magnet, which will give us two poles, which you know that they are North Pole and South Pole. And here, as we discussed in the first session, a magnetic flux is passing through a solenoid. And this magnetic flux interfere with that solenoid, resulted to the formation of electrical energy. Same here, we want to place a solenoid inside this magnetic field. We want to place a solenoid inside this magnetic field. But this term or the name of this part is not solenoid. We call it as armature. Armature means it's a flat plane like structure in which a conductor is placed there, and we turn up or coil up number of conductors in the armature or in that material. So here the armature consists of numerous number, so many big number of armature windings or the coil windings are placed in this setup, and that setup is known as armature. So this armature is connected or expands to a small rod-like structure, and this rod-like structure will end up in a small ring-like portion, and this ring-like portion is known as slip ring. This is known as slip ring. And this slip ring is connected to a brush. This slip ring is connected to a brush, and the brush will eventually connect it to a circuit which we can harvest the electrical energy. So here is a simple schematic diagram of a generator. What are the main important equipments or the parts which we are using in a generator? First one, a field magnet. And in between the field magnet, we are placing an armature. And this armature is developed, or a small extension is given, and this extension will lead up to a small ring-like structure, and that ring-like structure is known as slip ring. And this slip ring is connected to a part which is known as brush. which is connected to the left of the remaining of the circuits. Okay, now this is a connection or this is a schematic diagram of generator. Then we want to produce electrical energy. So the important thing, the magnet is here, the coil with the solenoids is here, which is known as armature. So we want to produce electrical energy. For that, the first thing we want to take care is we want to generate or we want to produce a mechanical energy. The importance of mechanical energy is we want to make a motion. The motion leads to the interference of magnetic flux, and that magnetic flux interference will lead to the formation of EMF. So we want to create an mechanical energy. So this armature will be connected to an external power source. That power may be mechanical power or any other kind of power. Our aim is to rotate this armature. So I am giving a mechanical energy here. With the help of this mechanical energy, the armature is rotating. When the armature rotates, the solenoid connected in this armature will pass through the magnetic flux which is established between these two poles. When the magnetic flux cuts or interferes, there will be a production of EMF. So the produced EMF will be flows through this connection and reaches the slip ring. When it reaches the slip ring, this slip ring is contactly connected to the brushes. It revolves around as the armature revolves, and when it revolves, it produces a charge inside this brush. So this EMF can be harvested with the help of the brush, and we can connect it to the circuit for our usage. So this is the working of a generator. For one more time, we can discuss how it is working. So first of all, there is a magnetic field which is produced with the help of a field magnet, and the magnetic field is placed between this armature, and the armature is rotating with the help of a mechanical energy, and this rotation will eventually leads to the interference between the conductor and the magnetic field. So there will be a development of EMF, and this EMF will be harvested with the help of a slip ring and the brush connections. So here from the brushes we can take the needful energy, which is the electrical energy for our usage. So this is a simple method. With the help of a generator, with the help of a mechanical energy, we are producing electrical energy. So here first of all we want to produce the mechanical energy. How this mechanical energy is produced? As I said, we can produce it by burning the fuels or with any other type of medium. For example, you all know that a dam. You all are familiar with the name dam. What are the importance of this dam? The dams are used or constructed for the production of electrical energy. When the dam is constructed, the water is placed in a high altitude area. When the water is placed in a high altitude area, as the height increases, the potential energy increases. That potential energy can be converted into kinetic energy when it flows through a pipe. And that pipe can be connected to the end of this region with the help of a turbine. We can rotate this armature, and that's how the dam is working, or the energy production in a dam is taking place. This section can be elaborated in the coming sessions, or this is we have the portions to study. So this is just an introduction. So the first of all, we can also use other type of methods for creating mechanical energy, neither than fuels. Okay, so here we are using the potential energy of stored water in a high altitude area for the rotation of armature coils in the dams. So in Kerala, there are so many dams are constructed for the purpose of producing electrical power. In all that area, we are producing or we are using the high altitude placed water have high potential energy, and that potential energy can be eventually converted into the mechanical energy for the rotation of armature. So you can keep in mind that you just imagine the height and the length and the volume of the water content is stored inside a dam. It will be very huge. So for the production for the whole household in our Kerala, we need high amount of energy production. So for the high amount of energy production, we uses high amount of potential energy, which means the generator will be very big. So when the size increases, the production of energy also increases. So our energy requirement will be higher. Then we will place other kind of things. Okay, then we can discuss in the later sections. Here the working of the generator is explained very simply. So you want to go through the textbook. The working of the generator with a pictorial representation is given in the textbook. You want to read through every sentence, and I want to mark the important sentences given in that textbook, so that if even any time you are reading the textbook, we want to remember the working of the generator, because it is very important portion we want to study in our 10th classroom. Okay, I think now you all are familiar with the working of a generator, so we can move on to the next portion. Earlier we discussed how a generator is working and the different parts of generator we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss how the current produced inside a generator is going to be a alternating current. For that, here I am drawn a diagram which is the first portion of the generator, in which the north and south, which N and S represent a field magnet, and the armature is placed inside this, and the rotation of the armature at different time period is given or drawn in this with the black color. So we all know that when the maximum flux linking with an armature will lead to the production of maximum amount of electrical energy. We know that when we discussed about the solenoid and the magnet. So the main aim to produce maximum amount of current is we want to create a maximum flux linkage with the armature. For that, how can we produce maximum amount of current? The first thing we want to note that we want to create a maximum flux linkage with the armature. So that here we know that the armature is in a rotational motion, which means the rotation will always lead to a circular motion. You all know that the circular motion, there will be a change in angle. So I am dividing this circle into equal 4 parts. For ease of study or easiness of study, I am marking this point with the help of angular measurements. The point at which the rotation starts can be named as 0 degree. So after the 90 degree of rotation, it will reach up to 90 degree. Again, if it revolves for a 90 degree, it will reach 180 degree. Then 270 degree. At last, it will reach 360 degree. So here I am placing a armature here. The armature is in this position. Please imagine that my hand is a armature and the armature is placed at the center portion of this circle, and this center portion, for easy, I am considering this duster or the rubber as a armature. This armature is placed like this. This time it is at 0 degree. When it revolves in 90 degree, it reaches 90 degree. So what is the change happen here? From the 0 degree to 90 degree, the motion is changed to, or the flux linkage is changed to maximum. From here you can know that when the perpendicular direction, when the armature is placed in perpendicular direction, the maximum flux linkage is possible, which means maximum amount of current can be produced. Again, this armature is rotated for a 90 degree, which reaches 180 degree here. So when it is in 180 degree, we can say that the armature is parallel to this magnetic flux. So when the armature is parallel to the flux linkage is very minimum, which means the production of energy will be, the electrical energy or current will be very small. Again, I am rotating this armature for a 90 degree, it will reach us 270 degree. So again at 270 degree, maximum flux linkage is possible and maximum current can be produced. And at the last moment, I am again rotating it for a 90 degree and it reaches 360 degree. Again at 360 degree, we get a result where is the armature is in parallel position and the maximum flux linkage is not possible. The flux linkage is very minimum here. So the current produced at this instant will be very small. Again, if we are continuing this rotation, if this continuation, the rotation of the armature is going very fastly in a continuous motion, we can say that on this each of the angle, the flux linkage will be different. It is very clear from this diagram. The flux linkage at 0 degree is not equal to the flux linkage at 90. It's not equal to 180 degree. When the angle changes, the amount of flux linking with this also changes. Then what happens if we are considering a intermediary angle? There will be eventually the difference can be shown, because if the flux is or the armature is in a slanted position, there will be also the change happening in the amount of current produced. So the rotation is very important. So now we are very clear that how the armature is rotating and how the interference with the flux linkage is taking place. So for easier understanding, I am expanding this circle to a graph. For that, I am drawing an x-axis and a y-axis. We already said that this y-axis, if it goes upwards, it will give us positive values. If the values goes down, it will be negative. If it goes in the x-axis, to the right side, it will always give positive value. Okay, now we don't want to interfere or discuss with that x values. Just we are considering the y portions. Okay, so we are expanding this circle to a graph. For that, I am starting from 0 degree. So how the interval in this angular changes is happen? 0, 90, 180, 270 and 360. So I am drawing that in this line. From starting from 0, reached 90 degree, then it reached 180 degree, then it comes to 270 degree, at last it finished at 360 degree. Okay, so at 0, the position of armature is parallel. So the flux linkage is very minimum. So the point is here, point number 1. At the point number 2, the armature is in perpendicular direction. At 90 degree, it's in perpendicular and maximum amount of current can be produced. So maximum amount of current, the point number 2 at 90 degree. What happens at 180 degree? Again at 180 degree, it is in parallel direction. So at 180 degree, the production of current is very small. So the point number 3 is here. And then it's moving on, and when we going forward at 270 degree, what happening? Again at 270 degree, we got maximum flux linkage and maximum amount of current is possible. Why I am plotted this point at the below position of this graph? Because the rotation is taking place. It's not going on a similar direction. It is revolving inside the magnetic flux. So here we denoted the fourth point. Here it is third point and the fourth point. Our fourth point which give us maximum flux linkage 270 degree. Again at 360 we discuss. Again it comes to a parallel position, which means low production of electricity, and the fifth position will be here. So we said that we considered each of 90 angle difference for the easiness. We can know that, or we know that there will be number of angular intermediate position. 0, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3 degrees is always placed here. But for the convenience, we don't discuss or draw it in the graph. But we know that as the rotation is taking place or the armature motion is increasing or changing, the flux linkage will be changed. So if we join this all point with a continuous line, we can derive a angular or the representation like this. We can represent the motion of armature and the production of current like this. So this type of graph we have been discussed earlier, and this type of current is known as alternating current. Because due to the fluctuation or due to the change in flux linkage at each time as the armature moves, the amount of current production also changes. That change in the amount production of current leads to the formation of alternating current. So in each case, when the generator works, always the energy produced will be in a alternating current. Okay, so the explanation is very clear. You student go through the textbook, the pictorial representation and the explanations are clearly given in that textbook. So you want to go through the textbook and want to underline each of the sentence, which is very important for the annual examination. Please, you want to understand this very clearly. So concluding this portion of a working of a generator, in the earlier session we discussed what are the main parts of a generator. The main parts are a field magnet which means the magnet which only gets its magnetic power when it is working. Next one is armature. Armature is a cluster of solenoid which is coiled on a material. So next one is that armature is connected to a rod, which rod is expands to the slip ring, and that slip ring is connected to the brush. As the mechanical energy given to the armature leads to the motion inside that magnetic flux lead to the formation of electrical energy. So that electrical energy depends on the position or the magnetic flux linkage with the armature, which eventually leads to the formation of alternating current. So that's the part relating with generator. So read the textbook very clearly in the page number 52. The page number 51 and 52 explains about the working of generator, and you all people want to discuss or going through that portion. Okay, then we can go to the next portion. What will be the time period? So we discussed how the alternating current is produced with the help of generator. So here I drawn an alternating current. Here we know that the alternating current which starts from the point or angle 0 degree rotates through 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree and 360 degree, which means if a circular motion is want to be said as complete motion or a complete circle, we know that the point from which it start want to be completed when the motion is completed, which means we want to end where we started the motion. So we can say that from the 0 degree Celsius to the 360 degree Celsius, the rotation is completed, and the time taken for the one rotation, the time taken for one rotation can be termed as period, or it can be simply said that the time required for this armature to move from 0 degree to 360 degree, and this is known as, or that can be termed as period, and we are representing this period with the help of capital letter T. If in the question paper, if you see the T, which means the period, and the period means the time taken for the armature to go from 0 degree to the 360 degree. And this period is very important because as the time decreases, which means as the period decreases, which means the motion is in more fast manner. So when the fast or the moving is in fast manner, which means the number of rotation can be increased, and the number of rotation increases means the maximum amount of energy production can be produced. Okay, so in our area or in our local, for the usage, we discussed that the electricity is produced from the dam, and the dam is used with the help of the water stored in the dam, and the generator is working in there. And when the generator works, we get the electrical energy. So we discussed about the period. The period means the time taken for the rotation of armature from 0 degree to 360 degree. So which means if the one period is completed means the rotation from 0 degree to 360 degree is complete. In this manner, we can term or coin a new term which is known as frequency. Frequency is if the wave, which means a wave which is starting from 0 degree to 360 degree, passes in a certain amount of time, which is termed as period. So here the frequency means the number of waves or the number of rotation or number of complete rotation take place in 1 second is known as frequency. So which means this is one wave. If this wave is completed in certain amount of time, the time or the number of waves which completed it duration or rotation in 1 second can be termed as frequency. So the electric current produced in our area is rated with 50 Hertz. Rated with 50 Hertz, which means the armature inside the magnetic flux rotates 50 times in 1 second. So that's how the energy or the electrical energy is produced in dams with the help of this generator. So in this session we discuss how the alternating current is produced. So we say that the alternating current can be produced from the generator. So the generator which producing an AC or alternating current is known as AC generator. AC generator. Like this, we also said that if the current is direct current, which means if the current is DC, the DC current is produced with the help of DC generator. With the help of DC generator. The output current which is produced with the help of AC generator can always be explained or drawn with the help of this graph. And this graph shows the output current form which is deriving from DC generator. And one of the other example for DC current, we have said that the cell or a battery is a perfect example of DC current. So in the cell or a battery, the form of electricity or the current, it can be represented in this way. So this is the graph showing the output current which is coming from cell or a battery. Because in a generator the armature motion is continuous, so we get this kind of output graph. In a generator which is DC, it is also a continuous process, but the difference is it only produces electrical energy in one direction, and it is known as DC generator. And the output diagram of a DC generator is showing here, and it is known as DC current because the direction of the current is not changing, it is not going downwards. But in the case of a cell or a battery, the output energy delivering from this battery or the cell will always be in a constant manner. We already discussed in the earlier session. So therefore the direction of the current is not changing, also the amount of current is also not changing. Therefore this can be the output diagram of a current produced in a cell or a battery. So these three output graphs are very important for you. So in the question paper, you can expect match the following questions or to draw or to name the current which is coming from different equipment. Such kind of question paper is seen in the previous year question papers. So in this today's session, we discussed about the generator and how the generator is working. For the explanation of generators, we take a AC generator and the parts of AC generator is explained, and also the working of the AC generator is also explained. With the help of the diagrams, we also explain when will be the maximum amount of current is produced, also how can we get the maximum amount from the generator. So also in the last session, we discussed what are the different output form of current is getting from the different electrical equipment, and we discussed mainly three type of equipment. They are AC generator, DC generator and cell and a battery. So students, keep reading through the textbook and underline the important portions and read the textbook, and if you have any kind of doubt, please let me know through the comment section. I will get up to you. For the more videos related to the physics 10th chapter, you can subscribe to the Horario channel and we can catch up soon. Thank you.